I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here, my review of the film Deadpool and Wolverine. Exactly 6 years ago, Disney completed a $71 billion sale to acquire the rights of the majority of 20th Century Fox, which entails the film rights to superheroes such as the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. If you go back to 2018, at the time of this announcement, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe were dreaming of all the scenarios they would get now that Marvel Studios had acquired the film rights to many superheroes. Fanboys dreamed of the day that they would see the Fantastic Four versus the Avengers, or Wolverine versus the Hulk. Fast forward 6 years later, and it's safe to say that none of those dreams actually materialized to a reality. Marvel Studios decided to leave multiple characters on the back burner for so long that we've reached a point now where all we're looking forward to is cameos of actors who haven't played certain characters in over 20 years being used as a marketing tool to save a flailing cinematic universe. Deadpool is one of the signature characters brought over from Fox. There was a long debate about whether Deadpool will remain true to his character under a Disney-owned regime. Disney ultimately decided that they were going to allow the character to keep his R-rated nature, but there was one problem that the studio had to address. Despite the financial success of Deadpool 2, the film was largely considered lackluster in terms of quality versus its predecessor, meaning Disney had to utilize Deadpool for the MCU. They had to do something pretty drastic. That drastic move was ushering Hugh Jackman out of retirement to return as Wolverine for one more film, despite the fact the actor retired the character in 2017 with the film Logan. But let's be honest with ourselves. At this stage of the MCU, through the final phases of Phase 5, Marvel Studios has failed to drum up any genuine excitement for the longest cinematic soap opera of all time. After flopping with The Marvels, which is now officially the lowest grossing MCU film ever, Disney needs to hit like a major leaguer batting 150. That brings us to 2024's Deadpool Wolverine. Deadpool Wolverine begins a few years after the events of Deadpool 2. We see Wade Wilson interviewing to become an Avenger in his universe, only to be turned down by Happy. Wade's life begins to spiral out of control as he's broken up with his girlfriend. He fundamentally lacks any true purpose in his life. One day after celebrating his birthday, he is interrupted by the TVA, who has brought him in for a chance to move to another universe. However, he discovers that leaving his universe will also lead to the destruction of that universe after the death of Wolverine in the film Logan has caused Deadpool's universe to become unstable to the point where it risks collapsing upon itself. Realizing that the only group of people in his life are at risk of being destroyed, Deadpool decides to find another Wolverine from another universe and hopes that that Wolverine will help him save his own. Deadpool Wolverine is the swan song for everything related to the Fox era of Marvel films. Fundamentally, the film is a tribute to all the franchises that Fox has presented up to this point, including the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. The film includes a series of cameos from actors returning to play a role they haven't been associated with in many years, and in some cases roles that never materialized into an actual movie. Many people were questioning whether it was worth it to essentially retcon the ending of Logan, which gave the character of Wolverine a perfect send-off after nearly 20 years of service. Marvel decided to make a financial decision by bringing Hugh Jackman back to play the character one more time in an effort to sell a third Deadpool movie. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are back to do what they've done many times before, and that's play our title characters. We all know they're both great at playing their roles, and at this stage of the game, don't expect anything new from these two outside of Jackman finally donning his iconic comic book costume for the first time in 25 years. Reynolds plays the same fourth wall breaking, fast quipping anti-hero that he's always played, which works either for or against the movie depending on how big a fan you are of Ryan Reynolds up to this point. The style of the comedy in this movie is essentially the same as you've seen in other movies, with the key difference being that the fourth wall breaking references are to Disney's purchase of Fox. One of the things that gets very old very fast is the film's choice in music. Throughout Deadpool and Wolverine, the film is littered with pop songs from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s that are sprinkled in that do more to pull you out of the movie rather than keep you in. Emma Curran represents the film's protagonist, but her presence in the movie only serves as a means to an end, meaning that the film only has her as the villain for the sole purpose of advancing the plot. Deadpool and Wolverine is the textbook definition of a fan service movie. This film is only meant to play to the people who will understand all the comic book references, or have seen the multitude of movies, or know of all the film rumors that have been swirling around this universe for the last 15 years. Understanding that this film is playing up to its audience, fans of the cinematic versions of Deadpool and Wolverine will certainly be satisfied with this film. With that said, there's certainly nothing about this film that demands a must-see status for general audiences, and this is certainly not a film that's going to save the MCU from the sea of mediocrity that's become over the last 5 years. If you're a sucker for memories, then Deadpool Wolverine is a fun time at the movies. Just don't ask the film to do anything more than that. I give this film a 2.5 out of 5.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah!